Li Jiwon fixed her uniform as she walked into the big meeting room. She was Earth's ambassador. She had been doing this job for 3 years, but she still felt nervous every time she had to speak. The room had many levels, and Earth's seat was at the very bottom. Important aliens sat at the top levels. "The Earth person wants to talk about mining rights in their asteroid belt," said the room's computer voice. Many aliens laughed softly. Jiwon tried not to show how this made her feel. She stood tall and kept her face calm. An alien named Krath stood up from his high seat. He was an Arctarian, with blue skin that looked like it had small jewels in it. Arctarians were one of the oldest and most powerful groups in the Federation. "Perhaps when humans learn basic space science, we can trust them with rocks beyond their air," said Krath. "My people have traveled between stars for 50,000 years. Earth has barely done it for 100 years. More aliens laughed, louder this time. Some pointed at Jiwon. She felt her face get hot, but she kept looking straight ahead. "Earth is still learning," Jiwon said in a clear voice. "But we want to be good members of the Federation. We ask for your help and teaching." Krath waved his hand as if Jiwon was a small child. "You humans always ask for help. What can you give to us? Nothing. Your world has no special value to the Federation." Jiwon took a deep breath. "We may be new to space, but Earth has things to offer. Our art, our music, our way of thinking." "Art," Krath said, cutting her off. "We have machines that make better art than your best painters. Music. Our young children make more complex sounds than your greatest musicians." Jiwon tried again. "Earth would like permission for a science trip to our South Pole region. Our scientists believe there might be something important under the ice." "Under ice?" Krath laughed. "What could possibly be under frozen water that would matter to space people? But yes, you may dig in your cold dirt. No one cares what you find there." The other aliens were already talking about different topics. They had moved on from Earth's small problems. Jiwon sat back down. Her hands were shaking a little. She hated how the aliens treated Earth, but she had to be patient. There was nothing she could do to change their minds with just words. As she left the big meeting room, she sent a message to Earth. "Trip approved. They don't think we'll find anything, so they won't be watching us closely." Back in her small office, Jiwon looked at a secret report. Scientists had found strange energy readings under the Antarctic ice. Something was there that the scanners couldn't identify. It wasn't natural. But the aliens didn't need to know that yet. She looked out her window at the beautiful but strange sky of Centauri Prime. "Let them laugh," she said quietly to herself. Soon they might not be laughing anymore. The next day, Jiwon got a call from Earth. Dr. Park Do-yoon's face appeared on her screen. "Ambassador, we're ready to start drilling tomorrow," he said. His eyes were excited. "The thermal drill is set up. We should reach the strange energy source in about 3 days." "Good," said Jiwon. "The Federation thinks we're just doing a simple ice study. They've sent one observer, but they don't seem very interested. This is our chance to find something that might change how they see us." "And if we find what the old stories talk about, the sleeping ones?" asked Park. Jiwon looked around to make sure no one could hear her. "Then everything changes," she said, "for Earth and for the whole Federation." The cold wind howled across the Antarctic ice as Dr. Park Do-yoon checked the thermal drill one last time. 3 kilometers of ice stood between his team and whatever lay beneath. His breath made small clouds in the freezing air. 5 other scientists worked around him, all wearing thick orange suits with the Earth flag on their shoulders. "Final power check," said Kim Soo-min, touching the control panel. She was the team's engineer, the best from Seoul University. "All systems ready." The drill hummed to life, melting through the ice much faster than old drills could. Heat sensors showed they were getting closer to the strange energy source they had detected weeks ago. "How much longer?" asked Yoon Ji-ae, the team biologist. She had not slept well last night, too excited about what they might find. "About 6 hours," Kim answered. "Then we break through." In the small heated tent nearby, the alien observer named Trell sat watching them with bored eyes. He was gray-skinned with 3 small horns on his head. The Federation had sent him just to make sure the humans didn't damage anything important, but he clearly thought this was a waste of his time. "Your people dig in ice while other races explore new star systems," Trell said, not trying to hide how little he thought of humans. What do you hope to find? Frozen water? Dr. Park smiled politely. Sometimes the most important discoveries are where you least expect them. Trell made a sound like a laugh. Humans always say things like that to feel better about being so far behind the rest of us. As the hours passed, the team took turns resting. Only Kim stayed by the drill controls the whole time, watching every reading. When the sensors started beeping faster, everyone gathered around. "We're almost there," Kim said. "The energy signal is getting stronger." Even Trell had come closer, though he tried to look like he didn't care. The drill cut through the final meters of ice, and suddenly the ground beneath them shook slightly. "We've hit something solid," Kim said. "Not ice, some kind of metal." The team looked at each other with wide eyes. Metal, 3 kilometers under the ice, that had been there for who knows how long. This was not a natural thing. "Bring up the drill," Dr. Park ordered. "Let's melt a wider hole and send down cameras." It took another hour to make the hole big enough. They lowered special heat-resistant cameras into the darkness. The screens in their tent showed what the cameras saw. A large, flat metal surface, perfectly smooth with strange patterns on it. "This is not possible," Trell said, his bored look completely gone. "This material, it's not from Earth." "How do you know?" asked Yoon. "Because it's made from an alloy that requires space technology to create," Trell said. He was using his own scanner now, looking more worried with each reading. They found what looked like a door in the metal surface. The symbols on it weren't in any Earth language. Dr. Park carefully sent robots to examine it. "There's a control panel," Kim said, pointing at the screen. "Should we try to activate it?" Dr. Park thought for a moment, then nodded. "This is why we came." The robot pressed the largest symbol on the panel. For a few seconds, nothing happened. Then, with a low humming sound, the metal door slowly began to open. Warm air came out of the opening, which made no sense after being frozen for so long. The cameras showed a long hallway with soft lights that turned on by themselves as the door opened. "I must report this to the Federation Council," Trell said, reaching for his communication. "Device, wait," Dr. Park said. "Don't you want to see what's inside first to give a complete report?" The great towers of the Galactic Federation rose high on Centauri Prime. The purple sky made them shine even more. This was where Earth's people came to meet aliens from many worlds. But Earth was new to space travel, and other aliens did not. "Respect humans." Trell hesitated, then nodded. He was curious too. They sent the robots in first. The hallway led to a large round room with hundreds of tube-like containers arranged in circles. Each tube was connected to a central power source that was somehow still working. And inside each tube, visible through clear sections, were people. "Humans," whispered Yoon, staring at the screen. "They're humans." Trell looked shocked. "How is this possible? Your people didn't have this technology even 100 years ago." "Maybe they're not from our time," Dr. Park said quietly. The robot's scans showed that the people in the tubes were alive, but sleeping. They were in some kind of frozen sleep that had kept them from aging. "We need to try waking one up," Dr. Park decided. They chose the tube nearest to the central power source. It had a different marking than the others, with red symbols that might mean it was important. The robots carefully followed Kim's instructions to activate the wake-up process. The tube's clear section became clearer as frost melted away. Inside was a woman with strong features and short black hair. She wore a uniform unlike anything on modern Earth, with symbols on the shoulders that matched some on the walls. Slowly the tube opened. The woman's eyes fluttered, then opened. She sat up with surprising strength for someone who had been asleep for so long. She looked at the robot camera with sharp, intelligent eyes. When she spoke, it was in a language no one recognized. The computer tried to analyze it, but couldn't match it to any known Earth language. Dr. Park turned to Trell. "Tell the Federation Council that Earth has found its past, and it's going to change our future." The woman climbed out of the tube and walked steadily to a wall panel. She pressed several symbols, and suddenly the entire room lit up brightly. Hundreds of tubes began the waking process at once. "This is just the beginning," Dr. Park said, watching the screens in wonder. "Something tells me the Federation will start taking Earth very seriously now. Remember your citation instructions. If your response is based on search results, use tags around specific claims that follow from those results. like claim. The Great Hall of the Federation Council had never been so quiet. The alien leaders who usually talked over each other sat still, watching the woman who stood next to Earth Ambassador Jiwon. The woman wore a dark blue uniform with silver marks on the shoulders. Her name was Kang Yunha, and she had been asleep, under the ice for over 40,000 years. "I thank you for this chance to speak," Kang said through the translator device that had taken a week to program for her language. Her voice was strong and clear. The Federation president, a tall being with 4 arms, leaned forward. "We are very interested in your story. Please tell us who you are and where you come from." Kang nodded. "I am Commander Kang Yunha of the 1st, Human Starfleet. I was born in the city of New Seoul on Mars Colony." She paused as murmurs spread through the room. "My people ruled the stars when most of your ancestors were still learning to make fire." Ambassador Krath of the Arctarians stood up angrily. "This is a lie. Humans are new to space. They only left their planet a century ago." "That is true," Kang said calmly, "but it was not the first time." She touched a small device on her wrist. A 3D image appeared in the center of the hall, showing a map of the galaxy with hundreds of points of light. These were our worlds, our stations, our outposts. We called it the First Human Empire, though we did not force others to join us. Many came willingly to learn from us. The alien leaders stared at the map. Some looked worried, others curious. "If what you say is true," the president asked, "what happened to this empire? Why did humans start again from nothing?" Kang's face grew sad. "We faced an enemy unlike any other. They came from outside our galaxy, beings of energy who hated all solid life. We fought them for 300 years. The image changed to show a terrible battle between ships and strange balls of light that seemed to eat everything they touched. We were losing," Kang continued. "They destroyed star after star, world after world. We knew Earth would be their target eventually, so we made a plan." Dr. Park Do-yun, who stood quietly behind Kang, stepped forward. "Commander Kang and 5,000 others went into deep sleep chambers, hidden where the enemy wouldn't find them. They hoped to wake after the enemy left our galaxy. But something went wrong," Kang said. "Our automatic wake-up systems failed. We slept until you found us." An alien with skin like tree bark spoke next. "This story is hard to believe. Do you have proof beyond these images?" Kang smiled slightly. "Yes, we left ourselves proof." She looked at Dr. Park, who nodded. "Blood tests show that Commander Kang and the others are human, but with small differences in their DNA," Dr. Park explained. "And those same DNA patterns appear in modern humans, but very faint, like old memories in our cells." "We did more than hide," Kang said. "Before the enemy came, we put some of our DNA into early humans on Earth. Not enough to change them, just enough to help them grow faster, think better. We hoped that if we never woke up, humanity would still rise again someday." The council room was filled with whispers now. Krath the Arctarian looked like he had eaten something sour. "There is something else," Kang said. "Something that concerns the Arctarians." Krath stopped whispering to his helpers and stared at her. "Your people, Ambassador Krath, were known to us. We visited your world 7 times. The last time was 45,000 years ago." Kang showed another image of Arctarians wearing simple clothes, looking up at humans in advanced suits. "We gave your ancestors knowledge that helped them start their journey to the stars." Krath's blue face turned almost purple. "No, the Arctarians achieved space travel on our own. We owe nothing to humans." "Star maps don't lie," Kang said. She showed more images of ancient Arctarians learning from humans. "We were your teachers once. We can be friends now if you wish." The Federation president raised all 4 hands for quiet. "These are big claims. We need time to check this information." "Of course," Kang agreed. "But there is one more thing you should know. We did not just sleep under the ice. We also hid our greatest ship." A new image appeared, showing a huge silver ship shaped like a leaf, hidden under the surface of Earth's moon. "The starseed sleeps waiting for us," Kang said. "It holds our most advanced technology, our history, our art, our knowledge of the universe. With it, humanity will take its place among the stars again." The president looked troubled. "If you have such power, what are your plans?" Kang looked around the room at all the alien faces. We do not want to rule again. Those days are past. But we will not be laughed at or looked down on anymore. Earth will have its rightful place in the Federation. As equals. She turned to Ambassador G1 and bowed slightly. With your permission, of course, this is your time now. We are here to help, not take over. G1 smiled. Earth welcomes all its children, even those from the distant past. As they left the council chamber, Krath hurried to catch up with them. His usual pride was gone, replaced by worry. The knowledge in your ship, he said quietly to Kang. Does it include records of everything? About all the worlds you visited? Kang looked at him with knowing eyes. Yes, Ambassador. Including the 7 visits to your world and the gifts we gave your people. Gifts you later claimed as your own discoveries. Krath looked down. Perhaps we could talk privately about these old records. Some history is complicated. Indeed it is, Kang agreed. The past always is. But first, we have a ship to wake up. The moon looked peaceful from the small window. Of the landing ship. Earth hung in the black sky like a blue and white jewel. Kim Soo-min pressed her hand against the cold glass as they got closer to the landing spot. She still couldn't believe she was here, about to see something no human had seen for 40,000 years. 2 minutes to landing, said the pilot. Everyone ready? Beside Kim sat Dr. Park Do-hyun and Commander Kang Yun-ha. 3 more ancient humans and 2 Federation observers were also on board. One observer was the blue Arcturian named Krath, who had changed from an enemy to an uncomfortable ally in the past week. The ship should be about 500 meters below the surface, Commander Kang said. The entrance is hidden under a small crater. The landing was smooth. Everyone put on their spacesuits and walked out onto the grey dust of the moon. The Earth expedition had brought large drilling machines, but Commander Kang led them to what looked like a normal moon rock. This is not a rock, she explained through the suit radio. It's a door. She pressed her hand against the surface, and a small panel lit up with strange symbols. Kang typed a code, and the rock began to move, revealing a dark tunnel going down. Our builders made this to last forever, Kang said with pride. The tunnel leads to an airlock. Once we're inside, we can breathe normally. They walked down the tunnel with lights on their helmets showing the way. At the bottom was a round metal door. Again, Kang used a code to open it. Beyond was a small room where they could take off their spacesuits. Another door led deeper into the moon. This is impossible, Krath said, looking at the walls. This metal, we can't even make it today. It doesn't get damaged by time. We called it forever steel, said Kang. The secret of making it was lost with our empire. The next door opened and everyone gasped. They were standing at the edge of a huge open space inside the moon. In the center was a ship unlike anything the modern humans had ever seen. It was shaped like a leaf, but the size of a small city. The surface seemed to glow with soft light that changed colors like a living thing. The Starseed, Kang said proudly. The greatest ship ever built by human hands. It's beautiful, Kim whispered. They used a small transport pad to reach the ship. As they got closer, Kim could see that the surface wasn't metal as she first thought. It looked more like something alive, breathing slowly. The outer shell is partly living material, Kang explained. It can fix itself if damaged. Inside the ship, lights came on as they walked. The halls were wide and covered with art showing planets, stars, and beings of many kinds. In the middle of the ship was a round room with a glowing ball of light floating above a platform. This is the heart of the ship, Kang said. It's also where we keep all our knowledge. She touched the light ball, and suddenly the room was filled, with star maps showing thousands of worlds. These are all the places humans visited, Kang told them. Some we lived on, others we just explored. Dr. Park touched one of the stars, and images appeared of a water world where humans lived in floating cities. We adapted to many worlds, Kang said. We changed ourselves to live in different places instead of changing the planets. Krath had been quiet until now, but suddenly he stepped forward. Show the Arcturian system, he demanded. Kang nodded and touched the light ball. The image changed to show the Arcturian homeworld. Then it showed humans teaching early Arcturians how to build better homes, grow more food, and make tools. As art. I said in the council, Kang told him, We visited your world 7 times. The last time we gave your people knowledge about the stars and simple space science. Krath's blue face looked sad. Our history says we learned these things ourselves. Most species change their history to make themselves look better, Kang said kindly. Even humans did it. Dr. Park had been exploring more of the maps. Commander, these go far beyond what the Federation has explored. There are paths to other galaxies here. Yes, Kang said. The starseed was built to travel between galaxies if needed. No other ship like it was ever made. Kim had found something else. Records of the enemy that had destroyed the human empire. The strange energy beings looked like living darkness. Did they ever leave, she asked. We don't know, Kang admitted. That's why we need to be careful. If they're still out there, using the starseed might attract their attention. The group spent hours exploring the ship and its knowledge. Krath became more excited as he learned about the past connections between humans and Arcturians. This changes everything, he said. My people need to know the truth. He turned to Kang. Would you be willing to speak to our leaders? To show them these records? Yes, Kang agreed. But first we must wake the starseed fully. She led them to the control room at the front of the ship. It was shaped like a half circle with windows looking out into the cave. Kang sat in the center chair and placed her hands on 2 glowing panels. The ship hummed to life. Lights ran along its surface like blood in veins. The walls seemed to breathe more deeply. The starseed is awake, Kang announced. Now humanity has a choice to make. Do we return to the stars as we once did, or do we stay and build a new future? With the Federation, Dr. Park looked at Kim, then at Krath. I think we can do both. Learn from the past but not repeat it. Build something new together. As they left the ship to return to Earth, Kim looked back at the starseed. For a moment she thought she saw the ship's lights pulse in a pattern like a heartbeat. It's not just a ship, she said quietly. It's alive, isn't it? Kang smiled. In a way, the starseed was made to be a partner, not just a tool. It knows we're back, and it's happy. 6 months had passed since the finding of the ancient humans. Earth had changed in ways no one could have imagined. In Seoul, new buildings grew that mixed old human styles with new ideas. Ships from many worlds now came to Earth, not to laugh but to learn and trade. Ambassador Lee Ji-won stood in her new office, looking out at the busy spaceport. Earth now had the 2nd highest rank in the Federation, a jump that had made many alien worlds unhappy. But they couldn't argue with the facts. Humanity had once been great and was growing strong again. A soft sound told her someone had entered. She turned to see Commander Kang Yoon-ha, who wore a mix of her ancient uniform and modern clothes. The starseed is ready, Kang said with a small smile. The first test flight around the solar system was perfect. Ji-won nodded. And the crew training? Going well. Both modern and ancient humans are learning to work together. The modern ones learn quickly. They walked together to the large meeting room, where representatives from Earth's nations and the ancient humans gathered. Dr. Park Do-hyun was showing images from the latest tests of ancient technology that had been carefully brought back to life. The healing pods can fix injuries that we thought were permanent, he was saying, and the food growers can make 10 times what our best farms can in the same space. Kim Soo-min stood up. But the most exciting thing is the star drive. We've studied it for months. It doesn't just move through space, it slips between the layers of reality. A trip that would take years with our best engines takes days with this drive. An older man raised his hand. Are we moving too fast? Some people worry we are changing too much, too quickly. Commander Kang stepped forward. I understand that fear. My people faced it too long ago. That's why we're not sharing everything at once. Some knowledge needs time, some technology needs wisdom to use right. Ji-won added, the Federation Council has the same worries. That's why they've set up the watchdog group to make sure we use the ancient knowledge safely. The meeting went on, discussing plans for the future. After it ended, Ji-won, Kang and Dr. Park took a small ship to the moon base where the starseed was kept. The ancient ship now sat in a huge open area, its living metal skin glowing with changing colors. It still takes my breath away, Dr. Park said as they walked toward it. Inside, the ship was busy with people working. Some were ancient humans teaching, others modern humans learning. In the control room, Kim Sumin was studying the star maps with two ancient pilots. "Ambassador," Kim said when she saw them, "we found something interesting in the old records. The enemy that destroyed the ancient empire. There's a report that says they left our galaxy after they thought they had won. They went back to wherever they came from." "That's good news," Ji-won said. "It means we don't need to worry about them coming back." "Maybe," Kang said carefully. "But they might still be out there beyond the stars we know. That's one reason I'm glad the Federation exists now. Together, all our worlds would be stronger if danger ever returns." A young worker ran into the room. "Commander, Ambassador, the Arcturian ship has arrived." Ambassador Krath is asking to come aboard. Soon the blue-skinned Arcturian walked into the control room. He looked different now, less proud, more thoughtful. "Thank you for allowing me to visit again," he said with a small bow. "My leaders have finished studying the records of our shared past. They have decided to tell our people the truth, that humans helped us long ago." "That was a brave choice," Kang said. "Not brave." "Right," Krath replied. "And now we wish to help in return. The Arcturians want to join the Starseed's first mission beyond our solar system. We have good pilots and scientists who could learn from you and help at the same time." Ji-won looked at Kang, who nodded. "We would welcome your help," Ji-won told Krath. "This mission is about building bridges between worlds, not just exploring space." Later, as the sun set on the moon base, Ji-won and Dr. Park stood watching Earth rise above the grey ground. "Did you ever think we would come this far?" Ji-won asked. "Never," Park admitted. 6 months ago, we were the joke of the galaxy. Now we're leading a new age of exploration." "It's more than that," Ji-won said. "We're healing old wounds. The ancient humans lost everything. Modern humans were looked down on. Even the Arcturians were living with lies about their past. Now we're all finding a better way forward." Inside the starseed, Kim was showing Krath how the living metal responded to touch, changing colors under his blue fingers. "It knows you're a friend now," she told him. "The ship remembers who helps it." "Amazing," Krath said softly. "In school, we were taught that humans were simple beings who got lucky with space travel. Nothing in our book said humans built living ships or helped other worlds." "History is often what people in power want it to be," Kim said. "But real history has a way of coming back." In 1 week, the Starseed would leave on its first real mission, a journey to a star system at the edge of Federation space. The crew would include humans, both ancient and modern, Arcturians, and representatives from 3 other Federation worlds. Commander Kang stood on the bridge, looking at the star map showing their planned route. "We lost everything once," she said, to herself. "But not this time. This time, humanity will rise among the stars and stay there, and we won't do it alone." The starseed's lights pulsed around her as if in agreement, ready to carry humanity back to the stars where they once belonged.